Good evening, my name is Adam Marwood, they call me the Zotmeister. Welcome, at long last, to another Throwback Thursday! Yes, finally! This is episode 24 of my flagship series. And as perhaps you can tell by the screen there, tonight's theme, SNK. SNK. Yay! Hi. Yes. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all here. Well, see you later. Good timing. Sciature, Magnuson Device, Jezendar, Sonny86, Couch Potato, James Mangiamelli, Nintendo 360. Welcome, everybody. I hope I didn't miss anyone there. That's alright. I had a little bit of chatting to do here. Alright, so SNK, the NeoGeo gets a lot of love around here on my channel, and a lot of the people who visit, I know are big fans. And the NeoGeo was a mainstay in arcades for a good 11 years. They developed quite a lot of cult classics that were spawned on that system. But SNK as a video game company does indeed predate the NeoGeo, in fact another 11 years or so before then. They were founded July 22nd, 1978. Unlike a lot of their other contemporaries like Nintendo or Taito, which were in other businesses before the video game boom, SNK was founded as a video game company. And they have been one ever since. They still exist. They're technically not the exact same corporation as they were, but for all intents and purposes, they may as well be. When they were bankrupt, one of its former executives founded the Playmore Corporation with pretty much the explicit purpose of buying up as much of the going under SNK properties as they could. And they did eventually get enough to be able to rename their company to SNK Playmore, and fairly recently they removed Playmore from their name anyway, so they're just SNK again. So, although it has perhaps changed hands at least once, it is for all intents and purposes still the same company that it has been since 1978. And what we're going to be focusing on here... Yes, well, see you later. Already naming some of the games that will be played tonight. Yes, SNK was actually recently acquired. That is true, too. They are definitely still developing under this name. Yes. What we're going to be covering tonight is certainly not all of them. That would be impossible. But... covering some of their more well-known, or at least more influential, and some of their, shall we say, first-bearing games from their pre-NeoGeo days. The NeoGeo came out in 1990, and they never looked back. All of their games from 1990 or onward, up until, I want to say it was around 2001, were all on the NeoGeo. Obviously the NeoGeo didn't exist before then. All of their games from 1978 to 1989 were on other forms of arcade hardware. And we'll be going over a good chunk of those. Unfortunately, their very first game is one that I cannot cover as much as I would love to. It came out late 1978. It was called Micon Block. It was a Breakout clone. Apparently microcomputer-based, microchip-based, unlike what a lot of the earliest video games were. All sorts of fancy little wires and whatnot hard-coded in the background there in the cabinet. There's not a lot of information about this game out there. It's never been dumped for use on an emulator or anything like that. There's maybe like one poster that's out there. There's not a lot of information on it, unfortunately. As much as I would love to be able to show that off, start where they started, I can't. I should mention that as you can see one of their earliest logos on the screen here right now. In case you were ever wondering what it stood for, there it is. Shin Nihon Kikaku, New Japan Project. And it wasn't until '86 that they actually started going by the initials. They renamed themselves to SNK Corporation. And some of the earlier games that you'll see here, they actually had their full name on the screen rather than just SNK. I will be starting with their second release, since I can't start with my con block. Quaint little game called Ozma Wars. Stick that out here. One thing I will mention in advance is that all of these games are going to be arcade titles. They did release games on other platforms. A lot of them were ports of arcade titles. I will probably mention some of these as I go along, but the only games I'm going to be playing tonight will be arcade games. Just going to cover all those. Yes, that one is going to happen too. Yes, well predicted. Well predicted. Before I actually bring up the game, it's actually no. Yeah, I will bring up the game first. Here we go. Why is the window not moving? What's going on here? It is not letting me move this window, and I don't know why. Not even letting me select this window. Huh. What in earth? Huh. Give me a moment. Let me try this again. Something really strange is going on here. There we go. That was one of the strangest things I've ever seen this do. Wow. Funky. Oh! Nice, yes, Sciature, nicely done, yeah. Yeah, that was the image that I saw earlier. The Micon block cabinet, cocktail table. Yeah, that screenshot seems to be just about the only information on the game out there as to what it looks like. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to, yeah, I'm getting all the tech issues tonight. It's pretty obnoxious, really. Alright, so the first thing that I would mention about this game is that it looks a lot like Space Invaders, doesn't it? And this is very much intentional. This is in fact running on Space Invaders. But this leg, this was in fact a licensed conversion kit that operators could purchase this and install it into their Space Invaders machines in order to have a different game to play on it. You can see down here, I think you can see my mouse cursor. Yes, you can. Skittering around a bit, but you can see it. Yes, Shin Nihon Kikaku. Full company name there. Be doing it again, but it shouldn't be a problem. In fact, let me quickly bring up the marquee for this game, just to show this was not a bootleg. Many companies did Space Invaders bootlegs. This is not one of them. Not only did Taito actually properly license this out and whatnot, they even did the distribution for it. Whoa. There we go. Yeah. So when you bought the game, you got this that you can put onto the cabinet, replace the old marquee. It is properly Taito branded. I love how it says Titronics on it. Alright, let me get that out of the way. So here you have... Come on, work with me. Holy cow, this is obnoxious tonight. I don't know why that's happening. So weird. Yeah, big image is big. I don't even know why that happened. Okay. So, this game has... You've probably never heard of it. I hadn't. But this game has a couple of very notable firsts when it comes to arcade video games. A lot of games have a sense of levels, of screens that repeat. I mean, Space Invaders itself, you know, you take out one wave of enemies, there's another one. This is one of the earliest games, if not the first, to actually have waves that are different from each other. A sense of different scenes that pop up, screen by screen. And perhaps just as important, if not even more so, notice at the bottom left corner there, it says energy. This is, as far as I can tell, the earliest video game to have the equivalent of a life bar. Rather than have a number of lives, one hit kills you, you're on to another life. Here instead you have a health meter, you have an energy count. It drains over time. Every few stages you get to refill a chunk. And if you take a hit or a collision, you lose a bunch at once. You run out, that's when your game ends. Needless to say, this is an innovation in video games that has very much endured. Most modern video games have life bars rather than one-hit kills. So that's sort of a big thing. Ah, Courtier, hello, good to see you here. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, I can actually play this. It lets me. There we go. Try player one. We actually start with a docking. Gain some extra energy there. Ooh. That's kind of loud, ain't it? No, really. That's, like, really loud. Come on. Where are they? There we go. Give me just a moment here. I could still hear it. I only muted it for you. Let me properly fix that. Alright, so this is clearly not working the way I would have hoped. Let me, Yeah, that's gonna be, And my emulator, although it's still running the game, seems to have crashed. I shall have to restart it. I am getting every technical issue under the sun tonight. My apologies for this. Get it loaded right back up again in a moment here. Seemed I was able to lower the CPU usage a lot, but it just stopped responding to me. That was obnoxious. I can spell. I swear I can. Okay. We should be good. Should be running a lot better. Let's actually play the game this time. That's a lot saner. A little obnoxious, but it's an old game. Is what they sounded like. You can see that these ships have these blinking, cloaking devices here. I have some asteroids to shoot through. There is actually a very faint, high-pitched sound when I shoot that you can probably not really make out. These things and their rockets are a little obnoxious. Thankfully, you can shoot them out, too, but... Oh, whoa! Doing better before. These guys turn sideways, or they have a much narrower profile. There we go. And now we have what is probably video game's first mid-boss. Yes! There we go. Turn that down a little further for you here. Yeah, that is pretty bad. And now we have what almost certainly counts as video gaming's first bullet hell. Look at that. Surprised it actually let me buy that. Really? You're just gonna sit there and... Huh. Well, this is gonna be a problem. Got him. Ugh. Well, at least those I can shoot through. Whoa. You can tell, just like the original Space Invaders, when there are fewer things on screen, they move faster. And that can definitely get you killed. Lamp Station, hello, good to see you here. So, yeah. Obviously the audio is a little obnoxious. But, it is definitely a game with a crap ton of video game firsts associated with it. So it's definitely a thing. And not a bad start at all for Shin Nihon Kikaku. Not a bad start at all. Look at that thing. That's ridiculous. I'm impressed that they got Space Invaders hardware to do all this. I don't know about anybody else, but I am. Okay. So, with that necessary bop taken care of, next one I'll play for you is another take on a classic genre, although a very weird one. Safari Rally. So from '79, another early one. This is SNK's first color game. K Price, hello, good to see you here. Yeah, Shin Nihon Kikaku again. And I'm not even going to guess what's going on with those animals there. This plays just like Head On, or Crash, or whatever you want to call it. This is the title of the game here. These are actually English words. They're just in Japanese phonetic characters. Safari, Rally, yeah. Rather than having a single square grid that the cars drive around, it simply loops around. You're like driving on a cylinder, essentially. I did not mute the game. It's just really quiet, apparently. Much like its predecessors here, I can change 2 lanes if I'm going slowly, or 1 if I'm holding in the accelerator. They put rocks in the way. Oops! I did not take that turn properly. Very simple, straightforward game. Oh! I'm guessing I can't... Oh, I actually can catch you. Alright. Oh! Oh! Impressive little explosion there. I unfortunately have no idea if the lack of sound is an emulation issue or if the actual arcade game had no noise at all. I cannot tell you this. I honestly don't know. I think I've almost got the level finished. There we go. Nice play, she says. Again, English words, Japanese phonetics. Style of game you've probably seen plenty of times before if you were ever in an arcade back in the day. Uh-oh. Oh! But definitely a different take on it. Allows every track to be the same length. Oh, I totally thought I was going to change lanes there. I guess I needed to slow down. Ah, psyched you out. Done. Oh, and now there's another car. Color cycling. Rainbow car, no less. Uh-oh, I'm dead, aren't I? No, alright. Oh, nope. The rocks apparently don't destroy you, they just make you slip. Sort of okay with this. Yeah, those flags are worth a lot of points compared to the dots if you manage to get to them. That is Safari Rally. Another interesting take on a classic genre. Yes, not PETA approved. Yeah. It's a vertically scrolling head-on. That's pretty much exactly what it is. Which allows for some interesting little shifts to the formula. Yeah, it's a fun little game. I think they did a pretty good job of that, actually. Yeah, that game was on original hardware. There's under the emulator, it has its own driver. There's absolutely nothing else associated with that game. Hardware unique to it. Okay. So next up, we are moving on. We're still not to where SNK became famous anywhere outside of Japan. And as a matter of fact, their next game is very Japanese. Quaint little title, 1980, called Sasuke vs. Commander. Now, if the name Sasuke sounds familiar to you, and it might, well, good on you. Good on you. Sasuke was quite possibly the most famous ninja that ever existed. His name is referenced quite a bit, seen in a lot of video games. Perhaps most famously or best known this day and age, the Japanese television show Sasuke, which is essentially a televised obstacle course, several stages, time limit for most segments. Yeah, it was named after this ninja legend of lore. Sasuke actually became very popular when it was aired in the United States by G4 Television under the title Ninja Warrior. Became so popular that after G4 folded, NBC started their own version of the show they call American Ninja Warrior, complete with building their own course. I have not streamed this game before, Jezendar. This is actually the first time. Yeah. Yeah, various expats of Sasuke have appeared in a number of video games, but here's one actually named after him. Perhaps the first thing I would note about this game, well, for whatever reason, there's a space that has disappeared in the company name, Shinihon Kikaku. I have no idea why. Protect my life from ninja. Yes, Shogun. So here we have a fairly, at first, straightforward-looking vertical shooter game here. Oh, no. Shoot out the gliding ninja that look like flying squirrels. But notably, every enemy that you hit becomes another projectile that comes down at you. Yes, they can take you out on the way down. It may not look like much, certainly by today's standards, but the animation is actually very nice for a game of its time. Especially the way that your character does a somersault whenever he takes a hit. In fact, when the game is over, you'll see that they sort of take the piss on themselves when it comes to that. There was almost an NES version of this. Almost. They were working on making one, and it's actually largely playable using a hidden code in the Famicom version of Guevara. It was taken out of the NES version of that. You will not find it in Guerrilla War. Dope. I haven't gotten that guy yet. That is just a bonus round of sorts. Yeah, it seems that they were working on making a version of this playable in that as an extra little bonus. Dope. But it did not actually quite happen. It's pretty playable. I mean, deaths are largely avoidable. Feels like it's your fault when you get hit. That tends to be the hallmark of a very good game. That falling sound effect might get a little old after a while, though. Faster green ones, I seem to have a little more difficulty hitting. Oh! He trips over a rock at the end. Magic bonus. You know, let me Nah, I'll move on. There are enough other games, and I lost a lot of time early on. Had a lot of technical issues getting this started. Still had some during it. Yeah, it's a fun little game. There was almost an NES version of it. My understanding is that with a code, you actually can play it. The Famicom version of Guevara. The game that was released in the US under the name Guerrilla War. I'll be talking a bit more about that later. And you won't see like any of the interface. You won't see a score on screen or anything along those lines. But apparently if you then start the actual game and then pause, it will show you the score that you earned while you were playing the minigame. So I guess there is at least that. But yeah, they didn't quite finish that, but there was almost an NES version of that. It's a fun little title. Alright, I'm going to move right along now to a game I don't have too much to say about, but I will give it a play. It's called Satan of Saturn. Perhaps the most fascinating thing about the game is its name itself. I am going to be playing most of their early library, but I will start skipping games soon. Oh yeah, Satan's Hollow is definitely a better game. There's no doubt about that. Although officially they didn't change the company name to SNK Corporation until I want to say 1986. You'll see that this game here from 1981, it does actually say for the first time SNK Corporation on the screen rather than Shin Nihon Kikaku. In fact, you can actually see JPN and SNK on the screen right now at the bottom there. Little listings. That title screen. Taking so long to come back up again. Let me speed this up real quick. There we go. Yes. SNK Corporation, 1981. Satan of Saturn. This is a tricky game. Trouble with this one. Gotta love that music. This music, not so much. Whoa. Yeah. Takes time for your extra life in reserve to get at the ready there. Oh, really? And you can see they can actually destroy that ship in reserve. So this game is mean. I basically lost 2 lives in succession there. They start you with 4, but yeah. And for whatever reason, their tiny little shots block your massive ones. There's another grand irritation. And it's over already. And good riddance to this game. I felt compelled to show it off, mainly to show how unpleasant it is. But that's what I'm here to do, to show off the games. Whether they're good or bad, people can make their own judgments. And I make my own judgment, and yeah, I don't like that one. But I felt compelled to show it off. Alright, the next game that I'm going to show you is going to be more than a little weird, but it has a cult following. I have no idea, Magnus and Device. That is an excellent question. I got no answer. I got no answers to that. This next game, if you've ever visited Lord BBH's stream, you might already be familiar with, because he is actually a fairly big fan of it. And I actually know very little about it myself. Why is it not coming up? I know I'm typing in its name correctly. Alright, you're gonna do that to me again, are you? I know it's called fantasy. I know I'm looking in the right place. Okay. Yes. Fantasy. This game has another astounding first. But you won't see it until the game is over. Oh, man. Yes, this was licensed to Rockola for overseas release. The game itself is the Satan. I can agree with that. That sounds good to me. Several different, very disparate screens here. You can see hot air balloon and pirates. Very odd mechanics here. Yeah, there isn't even a button in this game. It's just the joystick. You can see, just in the demo here, the attract mode, there's quite a few different little segments to it. Oh. Yes, yes, he's the one that does MAME roulette. There we go. Alright, I can attack the pirates as I move left or right, but not up or down. I have no idea why. There's also that cannon. The cannon can hit the pirates too. Once they've all gone, we get on through to this other half. Oh! Cannon still shoots. Here we go. And very promptly. Whoa. Now we're playing a dodge 'em up. Hey, I was using that balloon. Whoa! Oh. Okay, and now I'm going to pause here. This really weird, really strange game, apparently, by the research that I have done, whatever data I was able to find, at least nobody seems to have found one earlier. This is the first arcade game to allow you to continue. There it is. A massive video game industry first, right here, in this wacky title. The ability to continue your game. In fact, I think I will. Alright, take care. I do apologize for things getting started so late. Nice. Took out the bird for me. Oh. Now, I don't know if it was taken out of this version, or if it's an emulator issue, maybe a more recent version will play it. But there's also digitized sound in this game. Let me try firing up the Japanese version and see if that comes up. Right, yeah, exactly, Jesendar. Let me see, maybe it's a, Let me try firing up the Japanese version real quick and see if it plays here. Might only be on the start of a new game. No. I got it. It might only be, newer versions of the emulator, I guess. Yeah. At the very start of the game, the two characters you see there on the island actually have a very short conversation to the tune of, "How are you? I'm fine, thank you." It's weird. I was actually hoping to be able to show that off, but yeah, I guess they only got that working on newer versions of the emulator than the one I've got right now. Darn. But yes, of all the really weird, strange games out there, that's the one that we have to thank for being the first game to allow you to continue. I know, right? But moving right along, I'm finally going to now play a game that you have probably heard of yourself. You have probably seen in an arcade. I would have been very surprised if you had encountered any of those other ones in an arcade back in the day, but this one you almost certainly have heard of before. Right. And there's its name, bouncing around on the screen. Vanguard. Vanguard has 4 fire buttons. Up, down, left, and right. You can fire multiple directions. You have a fuel gauge of sorts beneath this little map here. The blue portion is your fuel, which, given the background of the map right above it, makes it seem like you've got a white bar that's increasing rather than a blue bar that's emptying. But yeah, the blue bar is your fuel. And you actually siphon off a small amount of fuel with every enemy you hit. You just naturally progress through the game. It auto-scrolls, but you do need to hit enemies in order to keep active. There are also those energy tanks, I guess you could call them, that you can collect to fill your meter back up again, and they give you a surprisingly long time of invulnerability. Although you can't fire during that, so if you want to take out any enemies, you have to actually crash into them. Yes, this game was perhaps even better known on the Atari 2600. Its home port was very popular, as I recall. But here's the arcade original. This was the US release. You can see Century's logo down there as well. They did the distribution. And this game actually does have good music. Quite famously so. I see that the nice speakerish sound effects are not playing when I'm crashing into these ships. Another emulation absence, unfortunately. That segment's done. Starting another one from the jets. One of my favorite things to do, you don't earn any points for it, but you can crash through these walls while you're invulnerable like this, and you can see they actually get removed. Carve a hole through them. That background music is about to change as another section starts. We're going to be scrolling in a different direction. Diagonally. That was quite the rarity back then. So was four-way fire. I probably should have double-checked to see if these were actual firsts in this game, but I can't say I did, unfortunately. Oh. Yes. You definitely have very distinguishable segments here. Those little outcroppings on the wall do make things feel pretty claustrophobic. I just took out a chunk of the background there. One of my shots. Despite my lasers in this game being these gigantic things, those tiny enemy shots once again stop mine cold and keep on going. It's just one of those things, I guess. It's been in video games since Space Invaders. These helicopter-looking things. There is indeed something at the end of that path, by the way. There is a boss, so to speak. I was using the US version of Fantasy. But I did fire up the Japanese one real quick. I didn't get the voices there either. What is that beeping? More eggs! Whoa, what is going on with the emulator? Okay, there we go. Here's the really lucrative segment of the game. You get big chunks of points out of just about everything you hit. Especially these. That you can't destroy, though. There we go. One more. This is very reminiscent of Scramble. More eggs. Oh, really? Yeah. Don't like Scramble, huh? Have the snakes here. New music. We're on the final ascent to the boss. You get one shot at the boss. If it kills you, you're on to the next wave. The longer you take to kill him, however, the more points he's worth. Sort of a brutal risk-reward thing there. But I think I'm probably going to try to kill it quickly. Gotta time your shot just right. Oh, wait a minute. I needed to be on the other side of that. Darn. No, you're not gonna shoot me. Yeah, it's not gonna open back up. At least you get a really good look at the boss. What's going to happen is I'm gonna run out of fuel. Or crash into that when I get bored. As you can see, things are a lot faster now. The next loop. Oh, I got it. Alright. Thought I was dead in there. Another one! He's being generous. It is fun to just get in their faces and crash into them like this. Ah! Oh! Somehow I was still moving up. Crap. Obnoxiously, you can only change initials left and right. Despite their layout, you can't go up or down. Whole high score table, the Golden 7 Club. So there's the first game from SNK that you probably were familiar with. For a lot of people, their knowledge of SNK starts here, with Vanguard. Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get the boss killed, but oftentimes when you're playing it, you get to the boss for the first time, you get shot by one of those guns right away, and it's like, whoa, what even happened? I didn't even get a look at that. So yeah, that's what that looks like, and you can see that the walls close in one by one, forcing you to get closer. Yeah, it's a fascinating little game, and it was definitely popular back in the day. It's Atari 2600 version sold very well, if I recall correctly. Seemed like most people that had an Atari had this. So, good stuff. Very good stuff there. Okay. I don't know much of anything about their next game here that I'm going to play. At all. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever fired it up, to be honest with you. This is one that I didn't get around to looking up in advance. Got a bandwidth hog at your place, oh dear. Hopefully it's not lagging for anybody else. Mrrr. I do something... So... I see where this is going to end up going. 2 buttons, I'm guessing? Yep. Let's give it a try. Oh, wow. Okay. That's gonna take some work. Oh, those are wolves! Get away from my sheep! Why do I earn 360 points for them? That's what I want to know. Oh, I almost did a double. Alright, that's a little close, guys. You can back off now. Uh-oh. I wish I could move diagonally. There we go. Turn that down slightly. Ah, moo cows. That wolf got in the way of my lasso. Oh! I got tipped by a cow. There we go. Is that Yoshi in the well? I don't know. And now we've got Broncos. And cacti. Oh! I got steamed. Hold on. Why is that suddenly stuttering so horrendously like that? That shouldn't be happening. There we go. Sorry about that. That should not happen again. This is actually a very playable game. There's a little bit of learning how to use the lasso, but it's actually not that bad. Ah! And the enemies can move diagonally, and that's the weakness. Still changing it, it's going up or down. There you go. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I actually enjoyed that. That's a fun little game. I had never heard of this before, never seen it in an arcade or anything. That was literally the first time I ever played it. And I'm actually pretty impressed. The way that you time the release of your shots actually makes it interesting. No, it doesn't. No, it does not need a grid vote. Or you could say that it already had one. It's called Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, Steel Net made the same joke, yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that is Lasso. Not a bad game. Not a bad game at all. Alright, this next one I know I've played before, but I remember very little about it. Its Japanese name is Joyful Road, but in the US it was called Munchmobile. Oops. I can spell, I swear I can. There it is. SNK 83. It's lots of fun. I see what you did there. Also, hello, Fox Ghost. Good to see you. Sure. Yeah, now I have seen this one in the arcades, but it's been a while. Been quite a while. You play this weird anthropomorphic car. Has like just enough space to dodge things. It has these gigantic hands that you can stretch out in order to grab things by the side of the road. Right. Two separate buttons for, yeah, you have one joystick to control the car and another to control the hands, left or right. Oops. Ow. This is adult. What am I missing here? Seem to be missing any controls. Using the wrong button, that's what. Oh, so you see, you grab food, pull it in, and then you drop a core off in a garbage barrel. Gotta love that. Eat the cherry, drop the... oops. Grab the apple. This is easier to do with a joystick rather than a pair of buttons. There we go. Running low on fuel. I hope I find gas. Oh, really? Come on! Go. You basically drop it as soon as you switch directions again. Go. Oof. Darn. Should probably set this up to use the right analog stick on my controller here. Oh! It was too far over. Can you eat the fish, though? I don't know. That's a good question. Let me find out. Let me actually... try, switching this. Yeah, something that auto-centers would be a lot nicer to have for this. I think. Sort of a bum start there anyway. Oh! And hit the bush. Ah! I tapped the corner. Ugh. It's not necessarily a hard game, per se. But it does require some precision. I seem to lack at the moment. What? Overcompensated. And its theme is certainly unique and interesting. At least I think it is. So many video games consume food. This is the only one I can think of where you discard the refuse afterward. Ah. For the fish. Of course, now it's to jump off. Ah. I'm sorry, I seem to be missing all the fish. Uh-oh, here we go again. Whoa! Holy crap, something really nasty happened behind me. 3 ambulances. And to the garage. And... classic arcade fashion. Second level already significantly faster than the first. I totally missed that. I love that the biggest points in the game... Oh! Darn. Throwing away your leftovers. I love that. Ah. No initials, unfortunately, but it does list the scores. Could actually continue, but... Munchmobile, that's going back over to me. I have very vague recollections of the game back in the day. But it is a fun one. Definitely takes some getting used to. And this level looks like a real nuisance. Throwing away the watermelon rind. I like how the headlights assume eyes. When you start to run out of fuel, the vehicle looks sleepy. They put a lot of work into this cute little game. And so that's enough for Munchmobile, or Joyful Road, going by its Japanese name. Okay. Also from 1983, a game that I did not know about until emulation. But I'm glad I learned about it, because this one is pretty clever. Called Marvin's Maze. And it's a very early example of a tilted view. Not quite isometric, but it's close. 1983, SNK Electronics Corp. Once upon a time, Marvin lived in his maze, and everything was wonderful. Until the Robonoids came. Wise man once said, men who run in front of car get tired, run behind car get exhausted. Indeed. Confucius say, man who fought in church sit in own pew. Anyway. So this looks like a two-tiered Pac-Man, and that's probably not terribly inaccurate. Although those glowing dots are not energizers. They're ammo. They allow me to shoot. And the amount of points you get for shooting a Robonoid... Nope. Darn. Increases significantly if you can take out multiples with a single shot. Darn. I should note that those teleporters at the corners are automatic. If you touch them, you will go up or down. So you gotta be careful where you're standing. I was hoping to get 3 with that. You can see there are various little one-way paths here. Some corner... Ooh, just barely got him. There are very few dots compared to, say, like the Pac-Man mazes. It's more about avoiding the robots and trying to line them up for the big shots, the big score. Oh, I thought I got all 3. Really? Man. There we go. Bonus points for, Robonoids destroyed. Not a difficult game. Fairly quick playing. Whoa, he went... Darn, I just didn't visualize correctly at all. You can try to finish levels quickly, but the big points come from actually going on the offensive. Trying to group the robots together and shooting them down in bunches. Which some might say makes the game more Pac-Man-y than Pac-Man. There we go. Little one-way paths make it easy to get the robots off your back. I have something here. Okay. Am I gonna get out of here in time? Yes, okay. Ooh, you guys are getting awfully close. Ah, you know. It does bear a passing resemblance to Crystal Castles, now that you mention it. Level's going to end as soon as I grab that shot, so I'm not going to be able to use it. Ooh. Alright, got it. Round 3. Yeah, this game doesn't speed up nearly as much as some of the other games I've been playing tonight. Although obviously you can see the maze changes really regularly. This is one of those games I really would like to learn the proper strategies to at some point. The way that you change color when you grab a shot is a very, very convenient thing. You can tell at a glance if you have a shot ready or not. Should have 2 shots left. Oh, what's that one? Alright. See, the level designs are not just simple clones now. This one is not square. They wouldn't, that one would be overlapping the other if, they were confined to the top and bottom of the screen. Ooh. Uh-oh, am I dead? No. Some way, somehow. I shouldn't have fired that shot, though! Off my back! Oh! I didn't turn around fast enough. Hey, look at this! I can move the cursor up and down now. Thanks, sanity. Look at this ampersand here. Classic style. Hey, why not? It used to be a letter of the alphabet. Yes, 15,500 points if you can take out 5 Robonoids in a single shot. Yeah, good luck with that. Very unique, fun little game that I had never heard of till I bought on emulator here. Great little fun. But got plenty more to do. Moving on to 1984 now. Alright, I don't actually know this next game all that well, and I wish I did. It's actually in the title. Kind of needed to be. Another game out there called Gladiator. In fact, it's a game from Taito, a company that is, as I've mentioned, SNK actually did some business with before, so yeah. Gladiator 1984. Although the game called Gladiator itself didn't come out until 1986, so who knows. If this game actually did come out in 1984, amazingly enough. Who'd have thunk it? we got for controls here? 2 buttons? Alright. We have ourselves a steeplechase. And we have ourselves a chariot race. Oh, this is just all sorts of horse-based racing. Is it just me, or is it stuttering a lot? Yeah, I have a proper isometric view here. Hazard race. Alright, so I got a whip button here. To jump. Ooh! Dope. Although I didn't play it during my NeoGeo racing game on the NeoGeo. There was a sequel to a first one. I want to say they're called Stakes Winner? I might be mistaken. And unfortunately I didn't get to them. But they're actually pretty fun. Surprisingly playable for what they are. I think it's either... is the original game lagging or an emulation issue, because the sound effects aren't stuttering at all. The animation seems to be a little off. Seems like there are a lot of sprites on the screen, so yeah, I guess that's actually just the original game. Whoa, piggies. Are those sheep? I can't tell. They go by so— oh, those are definitely sheep. And my Battletoads racing experience has prepared me for this. Definitely getting, better in the sound department. There's no doubt about that. I'd love to get to a chariot race, but I don't think that's going to be happening right now. Fun stuff, though. Not a bad game at all. Okay. Am I really going to play this one? Suppose... let's take a look at it. Skipping ahead slightly. Sports games. Love them or hate them. I usually hate them. Yeah, here we have SNK doing boxing. It seems to be running on the same hardware as Gladiator 84. Since certainly easy to recognize the same font. We have a different kind of Gladiator. This is a 2-joystick game? Oh my word. Okay. Drooming Joe versus K. Wolf. Alright, so those are for swaying, blocking. Seem to have one punch button. Ah! Oh, actually, I have 2. That animation made it look like it was the ref that was knocking me out. really? Here it says Dreaming Joe. He's certainly dreaming now. He got knocked out. There it says Dreaming Joe. So apparently this guy's character is Sadist. Not the opponent that... Whoa! Alright, this is one that I think I would need to see the arcade's instruction card for, because the, if you thought, Karate Champ had a strange control scheme, this is weird. This is really weird. Well, there certainly seems to be a lot of work put into the animation here. There's no doubt about that. But, it seems to lack a certain level of playability. I think I'll stick to the final blow. Yeah, Dr. Russell. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know how to play that one. But there you have it. Alright, I'm now going to go to a game that I think a lot of people didn't even realize ever existed. Given how popular the original was, you would have thought that the sequel would have gotten more exposure. And I totally misspelled that. Here's Vanguard 2. I can sort of see why it wasn't exactly as popular, though. As you can see, it looks a lot more like Time Pilot 84 than it does the original Vanguard. It has been quite some time since I've played this. But I have played it before. You have this laser. Very fast moving. And bombs that Z-style you drop. They hit where the crosshair sight is sitting at the time. You blow things up around this base here. A number of these so-called pods. You can see there are quite a few of them. Ooh, that was close. Ugh. No. Oh, darn! That one got me. Yeah, I would actually really like to know which came out first, this or Time Pilot 84, because they are both very, very similar. I need to destroy a few more pods before I can go after that center base. Pods are like the... Whoa! I did not expect that at all. These pods basically serve as the power supply for the central system. Break enough of them. Shielding will go down. You can see it's telling me I can go for it now. I am very impressed with the size of your opponent here. Basically one gigantic base that you're flying over. Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. God, oh! Darn! Got me. Really? Hold on, let me try that again. I finished at least one level. Da 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 da. Oh gee, I wonder what they took that from. Try that again. Oops. At least that hit a gun. Oh, I crashed right into that. Thought I had more time than that. Get facing it. I have no idea what happens, by the way, if you shoot down extra pods. You try to, say, get all of them before going for the center. I'm not going to attempt to find that out right now. Ah, you see the central core opens and closes, so you actually have to time your shot. There we go. You do get bonus points the more you destroy as you go. Now we have a much larger base to go after, with 92 pods around it. Ugh. To destroy 20 of them. Ugh. So yeah, this game doesn't seem to have very much in common with Vanguard at all, does it? But, there it is. That is Vanguard 2. Take it or leave it. I don't think it's a bad game. I do think the name is a little curious, though. It really does seem to have nothing in common with the original. But it is what it is. Alright, I'm going to do one more for you before I take my break. Get up, stretch my legs. To the second half-ish portion of this. I'll be playing perhaps a less dense collection of SNK's games in the latter segment of this. But I should be touching down on most of them. Certainly the different genres they have. The next one I'm going to play is a game that in Japan was called ASO, Armored Scrum Object. However, overseas it was called simply Alpha Mission. Oops. Excessive shift key there. This is from 1985. Let me get this open. Huh? Where is it? There it is. Okay. And here we have what I believe is their first scrolling shooter. Almost looks like it's a side story to Vanguard 2. It looks like you're flying over the bosses. From that game. Three buttons. Oh, you have your air shot. And a ground shot. Here we go. You can see there are various power-ups to grab. Different letters. Although I think it takes 3 of most things to give you any actual help out of it. You can see they build up at the bottom left there. can see I have an energy gauge that's draining out. It's gained a big chunk of it back, though. There we go. Third button is for switching your ship type. To collect the various parts. There we go. Upgraded the main laser. Looked like I lost my ship in progress when I grabbed that. Oops. This shield is pretty sturdy. Oh, there it goes. I wish I knew more about this game, but it is pretty playable. Oh! There was a sequel called Armored Scrum Object 2, fittingly enough. That was a NeoGeo release. In case you were ever wondering what the original looked like, here it is. Grrr! As Lord BBH likes to say, here's the thing about flamethrowers in video games. They're either really good or really bad. There, it's pretty decent. Doesn't last very long, though. See if I can actually not die against this guy for a change. Oh. Good old checkpointing. What? That was pretty embarrassing. And now we get to where... slightly modernized hardware here. I love it when games let me put in a full 10 letters. Here we go. Chip go boom. Yeah. And that little thank you for playing afterwards and that bowing head. I really like that. And you're going to see that in the next game that I play too. Will be right after my break. It's a fun game. A little bit of learning to it. Yeah, I should learn more about them. Oh, look at that one. This one I kind of wish I had taken at one point. Good stuff there. Allow 9 letters for the high score table, yeah. Alrighty. So, time for a music break. See you in a bit. Right.